The Bill McGowran Trophy was the first sports award to recognise excellence in disability sport. It was first introduced in 1963, and the SJA is proud to have been a pioneer in recognising and highlighting para-athletes for over 50 years. And this year, the award goes to an exceptional athlete, a lady who has won 14 Paralympic gold medals and 38 world titles. And this year, Dame Sarah Storey won 3 gold medals in one day at the Para Track Cycling Championships. Congratulations, Dame Sarah Storey. It's lovely to see you. How do you process an achievement like that, winning 3 gold medals in one day in Canada?
There was a lot of racing to do, and it was trying to keep up with the programme, make sure you were on time for your next race, and then just follow those process goals. And the award ceremonies came in fairly quick succession after the racing finished. So it was a case of, no, you're not allowed to go back to the pit area. You need to go back round and get yourself back in line for the next podium ceremony. So it did feel quite surreal and a little greedy, but to reflect back and think that was actually still in 2020 after everything that's happened. And yeah, it's a really proud time.
Things obviously changed a lot when you came back to the UK after that in March. We went into lockdown. How were you able to train during that time, if you were at all, really?
Well, as a cyclist, I'm really fortunate that I generally train from home anyway. And I used my exercise slot each day to either go out on the road training myself, or I used to do turbo sessions in the garage and then use that exercise slot to go out with the kids on a nature walk or something.
So many aspects of our lives changed, as you mentioned there, being hit by the current pandemic, but there was a short domestic road race season in this country. How important was it to make sure that any season at all happened and it wasn't cancelled?
So when lockdown eased, the road time trial season was able to resume in some way. In some areas we had more races than others, depending on the availability of volunteers, because we mustn't forget, and I think this is probably applicable to all sports, that we rely so heavily on volunteers, and quite often they're retired people and people who will be in the vulnerable categories and more likely to be affected more severely by COVID-19. And we remain incredibly grateful to those organisers who continued to put the events on.
Can you also take us back to your first Paralympics in Barcelona in 1992? What were you expecting? What was the reality there?
I didn't know what to expect. I was 14 years old. I'd just completed year 9 at high school. I'd made my choices for GCSEs and I was going to start year 10 a little bit late. My dad had joked about the fact that I needed permission to have some time off school for the games and that I might not get it because it was GCSEs. Coming away with 2 golds, 3 silvers and a bronze, I didn't really know, didn't expect that, that's for sure. But I also knew when I came home that I just wanted to be an athlete forever. So I guess I'm holding true to that statement.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you won the Bill McGowran Trophy for para-athletes in 2012 as well, previously. Can you just remind us how you enjoyed that year, and it feels like a very different time now, doesn't it, 2012, and just the emotions of being around the UK at that time?
Yeah, 2012 was just a dream come true for any athlete to have a home games. It was just that home crowd roaring your home, everyone singing the national anthem, and it just brought everybody together and really made a mark on the whole world of sport and made the Paralympic Games it came home ultimately. That's where it all started in Stoke Mandeville, just west of London in 1948.
And you're looking forward to the Paralympics in Tokyo next year, hopefully. How different is the experience likely to be, particularly now that you have a family?
Well, Rio was the first time I'd gone to a Games as a mum, and I stayed outside of the village with my daughter, who was then just turned 3. And it was a very different experience, but also a very rewarding one, because it gave me that opportunity to give her my full attention outside of the athlete portion of my day. And she really enjoyed that event and still talks about it now, which I think is quite remarkable, really. So we wait to see the exact, the exact details, but Paralympics GB are doing an incredible job and working alongside cycling and all the other sports to make sure that athletes are incredibly well prepared. And then me and my little bubble will work out how we feed into that bigger one.
Well, we will be keeping a close eye on your races next year at the Paralympics in Tokyo. Dame Sarah Storey, thank you very much, and congratulations on winning the Bill McGowran Trophy for para-athletes for the 3rd time.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real honour.